What is up, YouTube? Ruben here. Today I'm going to show you guys the review of this Toshiba Satellite. This is model number L505D-LS5007. Now this is from 2009, so this is an AMD system. These computers were about $500 in range when it was new. Again, I believe it's from 2009, and you may be able to tell that if you look in the front, you will be able to tell that it still has the volume slider. So let's go ahead and get started. So on the front, you may see that the satellite text is exposed. Right here on the front, you got the Wi-Fi light, the volume slider, an SD card reader, and here is where something gets interesting. So right here you got the this is the plug indicator, power, battery charge indicator, the hard drive, and the SD card indicator. So that's interesting. So let's go to the left. On the left we got your standard DVD burner. We got two USB 2.0 ports, a blanked out modem right here, the DC in jack, and the Kensington lock. So the back doesn't even have any ports. So that is because most modern laptops nowadays do not have any of these. So yeah. And on the right we got the vent, the VGA port, Ethernet. There's something interesting right here. I'm gonna take a photo of that. But right here we got a USB 2.0 eSATA combo port. So you can actually plug in external SATA devices, or you can actually install USB devices. And right here we got the microphone and headphone jacks, along with a blinking slot for an express card reader or something. Maybe PCMCIA. It's about the size. So opening it up, you can even tell that it has a glossy screen. So, and on the inside we got the glossy screen, the Toshiba logo right here, two speakers that support the pan, and right here is the power button. This is the bezel. It is detachable. This is for your keyboard upgrade. And right here we got the keyboard. Right here you get the Windows 7 sticker, the Energy Star sticker, the touchpad, the clicky buttons, and right here you should have had an AMD sticker, an Athlon 2 sticker. So now, getting to the bottom, you will see that we got the RAM door. This is your hard drive, and that's the battery. Now to get to the Wi-Fi card, you just open up the RAM door, and then there's a screw hidden in here to get the keyboard out, and then you just flip the laptop over, and then there's a bezel that you can take off. You have to be careful with that one because these are cheap. Once you've done that, you just take out the 5 screws on the keyboard, and then you can lift it up. But you will see a latch on the center of the laptop, and then you just open up the keyboard, and then there, you just successfully took the keyboard out. But you have a connector in here that You don't even need, because the modem port is the modem, or should I say the Wi-Fi card, it's actually mounted on the top, somewhere in the center. If you want to put it back together, just reverse the steps here. So yeah. So now let's get you guys to the specs. So we got a 2 GHz AMD Athlon 2 M300. So it's not the X2, because you already know that the Athlon 2 is just a budget processor rather than the higher end X2 processor. This one only has 3 gigabytes of RAM. This can go up to 8 gigabytes if you have expensive 4 gigabyte DDR2 sticks, to give you a total of 8 gigabytes of RAM. And you also get a 250 gig SATA-II 5400 RPM hard drive, and that runs Windows 7 Home Premium 64-bit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make some boot up times. So some of the information you will see, like the boot up times, the frames per second, all that comes from the HP Pavilion 2000 369WM review, that one right here. So let's go ahead and benchmark the boot up time, so I'll be back. So in the benchmarks for boot times, we can see that it's actually between the HP Pavilion 2000 369WM and the HP Pavilion G7 1117CL. You can see that the Toshiba Satellite L505D had 1 minute and 7 seconds, so almost a minute and 8 seconds. You can see it says 10769. Compared to the HP Pavilion 2000, we had actually 29 seconds less than the Toshiba. So we had 0.3827 on the 2000, and it's actually 21 seconds less than the HP Pavilion G7, and you can see that it is 29 seconds once again more on the HP Pavilion. So it's in between that these scores, or these times right here, are actually amazing, despite that we got 1 minute and 7 seconds on the boot up via the Toshiba Satellite. Okay, so we just booted up Windows 7. So now I'm going to click on Start and then right click Computer, hit Properties. As you can see, we got Windows 7 Home Premium, Service Pack 1, Toshiba Satellite L505D. We got a rating of 3.5, AMD Athlon 2 M300, 2 GHz, 3 GB of RAM, 2.75 gigs usable because of graphics. It is running 64-bit. And here's the OEM info. If you want to add OEM info to your Toshiba computer, take it. If you have an L505D, any model, Windows activation activated. Now in the Windows Experience Index, we can see that we got 4.9 for processor, 5.5 for RAM, 3.5 for graphics, 4.9 for gaming, and a 5.8 for the hard drive. The gaming graphics means that you can probably run some Windows 7 games perfectly without getting like 30 FPS, which, yes, we are going to install Fraps in just a couple minutes, but we'll see. And yes, Kaspersky, I believe. Is it Kaspersky? Was it Kaspersky? Yep. It's telling you it's out of date. So, yeah. Let's go to computer now. You can see that it says 222 gigabytes. If you have a fresh 250 gig hard drive, and if you install Windows 7 or any other operating system you installed on a 250 gig hard drive, you get 232 gigabytes exact. This one has 222 gigabytes because there is a recovery partition usable for this thing. And you can actually reinstall Windows using the recovery partition. So, yeah. Now, as for devices, I'm going to go ahead and run Device Manager. And some of you are going to ask, is it an APU exactly? Actually, no. This is just a standard CPU. Now, for hard drive, we got a Toshiba hard drive. This is model number MK2555GSX, or 250 gig hard drive. Right here, the chipset is actually an AMD M860G. Of course, it is the H2O motherboard. And right here we got an ATI Radeon 4100. So, yeah, the latest OS that you can run on that is Windows 8.1. So, yep. For network, we got the Realtek. This is a Realtek RTL 8187 wireless. It also has the Realtek Ethernet. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and close down the device manager. And I guess I can benchmark Google Chrome to see how well it's going to open. As you can see, Google Chrome opens up just like that. It takes like 15 seconds just to open up Google Chrome. So yeah, let's go and open up iTunes, because a lot of you are going to ask, hey, why don't you have iTunes? Now, this is the Windows version of iTunes from Apple. Right? They don't even make Windows versions anymore. They just make Apple versions in Mac OS. As you can see, this is iTunes, and you can see that it's showing the 2016 MacBook Pro, which is known to have issues with the butterfly keyboard. I don't even have a MacBook Pro like that. So it is the last version of iTunes though. So yeah, this is iTunes. And yes, we are gonna benchmark Polar Bowler just in a couple minutes. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and install Fraps, and I'm gonna do some benchmarking. So I'll be back. Here in the gaming benchmarks, we can see that the Toshiba is actually one less the minimum on the HP Pavilion. We can see on the Toshiba playing FNAF World, the Five Nights at Freddy's 2016 edition, scored 54 FPS minimum, average of 60 FPS, and a maximum of 62 FPS. This game constantly runs at 60 FPS, so if you want to play some FNAF World on your laptop, that is so cheap, then the Toshiba is definitely worth it. We can also tell that in Polar Bowler, it didn't even run because the wild coins are needed, but I don't even have to buy some wild coins and skip it. So you should get at least 30 FPS on average. Versus the HP Pavilion that did have Polar Bowler, we can see that we had 30 FPS on average. In Purple Place, we can see that the minimum is actually 0 because there was a large stutter where it was set at 0 and causing the game to stutter quite a bit. Going through the average of 17 FPS, we can see that the game actually constantly runs at 17, 18, 19 FPS. Looking at the maximum, we can see that we had 31 FPS. That is because this game can constantly run over 15 FPS, and in some cases it can go up to 31 FPS. 3 boxes have been blanked out because either none of them worked, or none of them run, or just they didn't get installed, or just wasn't even installed right, or possibly wasn't even installed from the factory. So we can see that the Toshiba is definitely the case for having lower frame rates. Alright, so we did some gaming benchmarks. So how well does the video play? Now, video playback. Now, testing it in the 720p format does make a difference, I believe. If you go to start, you won't even see videos in there, so click on documents. You'll see videos, and you'll see a sample video just for benchmarking purposes only. It's the wildlife in HD. So I did play that, and sure enough, now this is built into Windows 7, so as the video playback goes, it runs smooth, especially in 720p. No, do not do 1080p because that's not going to handle much in 1080p. So it does have Movie Maker as well, and yes, it does not have a webcam. So yeah. So let's go ahead and go to the last part, which would be the display. Of course, I cannot end videos without display or the graphics. And you can see, again, it's the ATI Radeon 4100. This is the Mobility Edition, based out of the AMD M860G chipset. It has 256 megabytes of dedicated video RAM, sharing the RAM within 1.1 gigabytes. Gives me a total of 1,406 megabytes. So yeah, not a 1 gig card, but it's actually a 256 megabyte graphics chip. So yeah, last part is going to be the programs. A lot of you are going to ask which programs are installed. We had to uninstall Fraps at the time, so let's go ahead and see what's on that thing. Now, there's a lot of stuff. There is Office 2007. There's a lot of stuff. There are 69 programs. That's because we got Fraps installed. If you uninstall that, you get 68 programs. So I go and uninstall Fraps real quick. So I'll be back. Okay, this is what you should get, but again, not that accurate, but you should get at least 60 to 65 programs on average. So yeah, this is based out of the fresh install of this OEM version of Windows 7. Now, you could upgrade that to Windows 10, But the only thing is that the drivers for the graphics goes all the way up to Windows 8.1. If you do that, of course, it may technically work with the Windows 8.1 driver from NVIDIA, not NVIDIA, AMD's website. But you'll have a hard time running a lot of stuff that you may need, like for video editing or watching video. So, yeah. So now, it's time for the conclusion. Now, in conclusion, is it worth it? Now, as long as you're gonna go ahead and just do some basic tasks, then yes, go ahead and do that. But if you want to just use that for like Windows 10, then I would definitely recommend I say no. Just for a small amount of time, you're not going to get any performance on this anymore, since it is from 2009. So, yeah. Gaming on FNAF World is quite a bit intensive, but it did succeed the 60 FPS mark. So, yeah, I think that's a success. Now, I cannot play Polar Bowler here because I ran out of free session coins, so I need to get wild coins for that, but I don't think I can do that anymore, because Polar Bowler has been there since, I believe it was 2003 or 2004 when that game was released. So, yeah, that's it. That's the review of the Toshiba Satellite L505D. Model number, yeah, it's the LS505D-LS5007. So, yeah, that's it. So, thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button, also the bell icon while you upload new videos. Also, follow me on Twitter at RubenUpAdicio17 or Instagram at RubenTransferFan. Now, what I do after I finish making this video is I will do more VirtualBox tutorials, which has been held on my Dell Precision T5500. So, yeah, I will do more VirtualBox tutorials right now, and just haven't uploaded these videos yet. If I have the time to go ahead and upload these like on an everyday basis, except for Thursday, then yeah, I can go ahead and upload these after I'm done with the Metro 853 footage. So yeah, and speaking of that, yes, I am gonna go ahead and make some more bus videos out of it. So yeah, that's the review of the Toshiba Satellite L505D. So, if you want me to see the upgrade guide, because I already told you some basic stuff here, so let me know, and I will do that. And also, stay tuned for that Q&A. I know someone requested me to do that, so I will try to do that. So, yeah, let's go ahead and end the video, so I'll see you next time.